Ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children. Praise be to Allah.
My name is Ryan McHugh, and today I'll be talking about Mike Tyson, the professional boxer who was active from 1985 until 2005, with a record of 50 wins, 6 losses, and 2 no contests. This article was not about a specific criminal case, but has implications that are important to the criminal justice system. The case was Mike Tyson versus the Nevada State Athletic Commission on whether to reinstate his boxing license after he bit the ear of Evander Holyfield on June 28, 1997. Mike Tyson was born on June 30th, 1966, in Brownsville, New York City, and grew up in the neighborhood until the age of 12, when he was removed from his home and placed in a residence facility in upstate New York due to numerous behavioral problems. It is unknown on the specific reasons, but some reports say it has to do with an incident where he punched a garbage man so hard he convulsed on the sidewalk because the garbage man put a milk crate on his favorite pigeon. Foster parents took the place of his biological parents, and in his mind and their mind, they were his parents. Camille Diamato became not only his parent, but his mentor and trainer. In Tyson's early years, it was thought that he was unbeatable. But in 1985, Camille Diamato died, and Tyson was emotionally devastated. At this point, Tyson was not a stranger to violence. Tyson was involved in multiple street fights, and one of the most famous being in 1988, where Tyson and Mitch Green, another professional boxer, who he had fought 2 years prior, met outside a Harlem nightclub and began to argue over money. Soon after the argument, a fistfight broke out. A crowd gathered, and from eyewitness testimony, it was said that Tyson would have killed Green if it were not for the crowd gathering. This was far from the last violent incident that he was involved in. In 1992, Tyson was convicted of rape and sentenced to 6 years in the Indiana State Prison System. Tyson served 3 years in prison and was paroled due to good behavior. Due to the biting of the ear of Evander Holyfield, the Nevada State Athletic Commission revoked Tyson's license and fined him $3 million, and noted that if he maintained a nonviolent behavior for the next year, he could apply for a license. In 1997, Tyson applied to the New Jersey State Athletic Commission. This was viewed as Tyson looking for a way out of answering the concerns of the Nevada Commission. New Jersey required Tyson to participate in a public hearing to demonstrate why he should be granted a license. A requirement of the board was for Tyson to undergo psychiatric evaluation, which found that Tyson had no signs of mental illness or prone to events such as the Holyfield incident. It is noted in the article that the evaluation only consisted of an hour meeting with Dr. Rothman. Rothman later went on to testify of his findings. During the proceedings of the hearing, Tyson was quoted as saying he snapped, resulting in the biting of the ear. When Tyson was asked about the rape, he said the incident allowed him the opportunity to seek mental health treatment, that he was currently still in the hearing. Tyson blurted out, "How many fucking times do I have to say this?" while answering questions as to why he should be issued a boxing license, thus discrediting all testimony that he was able to control his outburst. Before the board could return with a decision, Tyson withdrew his application and then put in an application with the Nevada State Athletic Commission. The commission now noted that Tyson must undergo a thorough mental health evaluation. Tyson's forensic evaluation was conducted by professionals from the Law and Psychiatric Service at Massachusetts General Hospital. The team of 6 included 6 psychiatrists, 2 neurologists, a clinical psychologist, and a neuropsychologist. The Athletic Commission was tasked with answering these 5 questions. What was Tyson's psychiatric diagnosis? What treatment, if any, was needed or proposed? What was Tyson's ability to handle stress in unpredictable situations? What was the potential for Tyson to commit another major foul in a boxing ring? And did the team of experts believe that Tyson was mentally fit to comply with the rules of boxing? It is noted that it was extremely unusual that the commission was requesting forensic psychological evaluation of Tyson for a state administrative proceeding to address such specific questions, especially because the main question is whether he is too violent or too aggressive for boxing, a sport where beating your opponent up to the point of knockout is the main goal. The, bo- the board began with reviewing records from the New Jersey Commission's findings, footage of the Holyfield fight, interviews with Tyson. This time, the interviews with Tyson were much longer and more extensive, involving over a dozen different tests. Tyson noted again that he snapped during the fight because he felt the fight turned into a street fight after he suffered multiple illegal headbutts that the referee did not penalize Holyfield for. When asked about how he was feeling at the time of the fight, Tyson said that he was experiencing severe depression due to financial problems and personal problems. During all of his evaluations by the team of doctors, it was found that Tyson suffers from extreme low self-esteem and was extremely sensitive of the way people viewed him undergoing such evaluation. The examinations was for Tyson to undergo an EEG and an MRI, which determined there was no abnormalities in the structure of his brain due to the multitude of head injuries endured both inside and outside the ring. It was found that Tyson may not have problems with the structure of his brain, but the neurological functioning has deficiencies in his executive functioning, which is described as the ability to respond appropriately to circumstances. Also, the doctors noted that evidence was found to suggest that Tyson lacked impulse control. The diagnostic team concluded that Tyson suffered from a severe form of depression called dysthymia, and this was possibly caused due to the blows he took as a professional boxer and the fighting outside the ring. Dysthymia is a form of depression that is persistent and causes issues with motor skills, short-term memory, fine motor coordination, verbal learning, and memory. The team suggested that Tyson should undergo regular psychotherapy without the use of medicine due to his traveling habits. The team also noted that they felt that Tyson's ability would be fair to good to handle the stress of unpredictable situations. The team also noted no evidence was found that would deem Mike Tyson unable to deal with the stress of boxing. All of the team members were quoted as saying they were unable to predict the likelihood of an outburst, like the Holyfield incident. This, in my opinion, is what the Nevada State Athletic Commission was really looking for an answer to. The team's report noted that the prediction has been difficult for mental health professionals to accurately predict, and no specific or proven test has been developed because of the large amount of factors that could provoke a violent outburst, such as situational variables that are unpredictable or possibly unforeseen events. Due to the lack of research on the predictability, the team reviewed all of Mike Tyson's fights and no similar major fouls were ever committed. So the team concluded that there was no previous incidents that suggested a future event. In the team's conclusion, they stated it is not possible to predict the future behavior of any individual. Fouls are committed in boxing as they are in other sports. There is thus some risk of a foul being incurred by virtue of being a boxer or athlete in general. While past behavior is a predictor of future behavior, that fact argues both ways for Mr. Tyson. On the one hand, it could be said that his commission of a foul puts him at an increase of committing another offense. On the other hand, Mr. Tyson's history of limited point deduction in the 48 previous bouts suggested that he was at a low risk of another foul, especially given the consequences of June 28, 1997 incident. Thus, the team expressed that Tyson was fit to return to boxing, and the Nevada State Athletic Commission reinstated Mike Tyson's boxing license. Although no other serious foul was committed, Tyson continued to show signs of instability inside and outside of the boxing world. After being divorced, he got his famous face tattoo and started a fight during a press conference and told an opponent that he was going to eat his children in a post-bout interview. Tyson also got into multiple fights outside the ring, including one with Don King, the famous boxing promoter, and a few different fights with overexcited fans, and one fight with 7 prostitutes in 2009. The evaluation was conducted for a state administrative hearing. I think it is important to look at this in the mindset of a criminal justice system. The comprehensive study of Tyson proves to us that currently we are still unable to predict a person's future behavior, especially when implying unpredictable or unforeseen circumstances. Thus, the individual's past is the best predictor of future behavior. If the experts were trying to determine overall violent tendencies, they would have focused more on the incidents outside of the ring, such as the incident with Mitch Green or the garbage man, and we could have predicted that Tyson would still have violent tendencies. These outbursts may have been able to be predicted if that was the focus, and we may actually have a set-in-stone procedure to try to determine an individual's future. In future context, criminal forensic experts may be able to cite this as a source for creating an accurate violent risk assessment. A violent risk assessment that was accurate could help us potentially determine the likelihood of someone that would reoffend, especially violent crimes. As we know, a majority of crime is caused by the same offenders, and this could potentially save individuals from being victims of crime.